Hello everyone, and welcome to SoftFil Academy's webinar. We are very happy to welcome all of you to this webinar with Dr. Javier Beut, who is with us from Spain right now. So, okay, so welcome to you, Dr. Beut.
Oh, welcome to friends. Welcome to you. So it's always a pleasure to be in contact with you. All right. So let's see what offers SoftFil tonight.
Great. Can everyone please turn off their microphone because we can hear some voices? It would be very nice. Thank you so much. So I will start by introducing Dr. Beut a little bit more. Dr. Javier Beut has been a SoftFil Academy expert for a while now, so we really love working with him, and he is a renowned plastic surgeon. He works as an anesthetic and reconstructive surgeon specialized in oculoplastic and rhinoplastic reconstructive procedures. He has developed non-surgical facial rejuvenation techniques, published at PRJ, ASG, like the non-touch for lips enhancement, volumizing viaducts of the mid-face, defining the Beut techniques. He has been a pioneer in cadaveric studies demonstrated throughout his 3D videos and live demos. And he currently runs 2-day surgical and non-surgical courses for facial rejuvenation and a cadaver lab in Palma de Mallorca in Spain. Since 1989, he is also involved in humanitarian surgical collaborations, and he founded a non-profit organization called Cirujanos Plásticos Mundi, sorry for my bad pronunciation, where he organizes workshops about cleft lip and nose oculoplastics albinos for doctors of underdeveloped countries. The aim of the foundation is education as a development tool. So, of course, Dr. Beut is an international speaker and a KOL that you all know well. And we are very happy to have him tonight with us to teach us about his tear-trough injection technique with a micro-cannula called the blending technique. Just before Dr. Beut will start his presentation, I wanted to give you a little bit more information on the webinar. It will last approximately 1 hour. And it is being recorded, so the replay will be available from tomorrow on SoftFil Academy's website, also on our YouTube page, and it will be subtitled in different languages, including French and Spanish. So what else did I want to tell you? No, I think that's everything. Dr. Beut, if you want to share your presentation, you are welcome to do it. And everyone, please ask your questions on the chat, on the Q&A, and we will answer everything at the end of the webinar. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for this nice, presentation. Thank you. You were so kind. I want to share with you my experience with my technique on the blending the tear-trough. Let me check that. Wait a minute here. Okay, is it okay?
Yes.
Perfect. So tear-trough has been always, I guess that when you talk about the face, I think always that the most tricky part is the tear-trough. You can, not only due to the anatomy, but due to what type of filler you're going to use. So the fact is, we have developed this. This is as you will see, is a technique that has been described in 2017 from our paper. From the viaducts of Beut, the Beut viaducts, And now we try to develop, this, type 1 on calling the blending technique. I'm very happy because, as you can see, at IMCAS Academy, it seems that it has been the most viewed video, in 2022. So it seems that tear-trough is always, there, asking for, questions. So these are my disclosures. So for those who have been at my academy or in some of my presentations, you know that I always, talk about this algorithm protocol that I have developed many years ago about the why this happened, where the anatomy, when during the aging process, what or fat or filler, important, to know about the rheology, and finally, how we do that with cannula or with a needle. So this is the paper we published in 2015 about the viaducts, and from this we have moved to, because we believe that this paper was really important regarding what called the mid-face anatomy. That's why we want to thank Joel Pisa talking about the article. So because it seems that it made a forward step on the anatomy, the difficult anatomy of the mid-face. So that's why I was saying, I mean, we from the volumizing viaduct of the mid-face to the tear-trough blending procedure. And as you can see, I mean, it's a big, it's a big group, including, Mexico. We have a very close relationship with the anatomy, department of Diego Pineda, and we are, trying to add some more pearls, to this tricky point. So when we talk about the cheek fat pads, it's important to make a comparison. Everybody knows about what Rorik and Pesa, described in 2008. But not too many, know what we did with my partner and mentor, Dr. Jugs, in 2014 about this. Which is the difference of this from what Pesa and Rorik described and what we described in 2014 is how these fat pads move. What we call this is how they move. We know the anatomy, but it's important to know how they move. So we know that we have, three important, superficial fat pads. We have the infraorbital or nasolabial fat pad and the medial cheek fat pad. And then we have, the deep fat pad that we have the lateral SUF or pre-zygomatic space, the medial SUF and the deep mid cheek fat pad. And which is the most important fat pad regarding the tear-trough, because today is about the tear-trough, is the deep mid fat pad. So what is this important? Because when we talk about this gliding effect about the superficial fat pads and the deep fat pads, we have that the face move. It's not like a mask. If you just inject and you fill holes, what you are going to obtain is a mask. But as soon as the mask tries to move, it's not natural. So what we try to obtain is with all these techniques is to have some movement on the face, like you see on this gray, image. All right. So let's move. So then, as a surgeon, we work, on spaces. These were described by Jubara in 1895, and Mendelssohn, a great anatomist and plastic surgeon from Australia, gave us protocols about, what are these famous spaces. So these spaces, we have these spaces, at the pretemporal space, the premaxillary space, but we have more than that. And this is a very nice, drawing done by my, my colleague and friend, Dr. Surek, the one that helped me to write all the papers. Our ideas that Jabs and myself, had in our mind that Dr. Surek put on a paper. He did a very nice work. And you see here, we have this pretemporal, prezygomatic, premaxillary, so these spaces are, I don't want to say empty, but are safe. So when we do a facelift, we go at the premasseteric space, we go, we know that these spaces, when we place, our scalpel, they are safe. So why not to use the same concept, you know, when you do, you know, aesthetic medicine, when you use fillers? Of course, you cannot use, you can find, you know, these spacers using a needle, but you need to find the spacers with cannula. All right. So let's move to what borders are today. So today we're going to talk about, you know, zone 2. Zone 2 is from the lower lid, and we're going to talk about the premaxillary space. What is this premaxillary space? The premaxillary space is made by the nasolabial fat pad, the fat I showed you before. That's a superficial, and then we have the levator labii superioris. So this here is where we have the space. If you look to the drawing, you can see really, you know, it's not so big. I mean, don't imagine it's so big. It's just a space. And when you place the cannula between the, you know, between the levator labii superioris and the nasolabial fat pad, it glides. All right. So below the level, you know, the levator labii superioris, what do we have? We have the deep mid fat pad. So we have the deep mid fat pad below as a, you know, as a to give support, and then the nasolabial fat pad at the premaxillary space. Sorry. So when you look carefully, because maybe you can ask, Javier, we are talking the tear-trough, and you're talking about the midface. Of course, why? Carefully, you know, where the orbicularis orbital muscle, you know, lies. It lies over the cheek. So when you treat your tear-trough, the first thing you have to analyze is the cheek. Look to these diagrams. If you look to these diagrams, this is anatomic dissection. You see that the orbicularis orbital muscle lies over the cheek. So whatever you do here, whatever you think, this is very important. Look to that. All right. So that's why the deep mid fat pad is so important. If you look to this video done by Mendelssohn, you see we can obtain the ligament, and it's an osteocutaneous ligament. The tear-trough itself is an osteocutaneous ligament. It's not really something that you can cut. For those surgeons know that you need to cut with a scissor, or you need to cut with a Colorado needle. You cannot cut, you know, with a cannula, or I mean, you can't do that. So those who believe that you can cut the ligament believe this is not absolutely not true. So the fact is that this is a ligament that lies in between the orbicularis orbital muscle and the preseptal muscle all the time. So we have the palpebral part, then we have the tear-trough osteocutaneous ligament, and then we have the orbital part. So this is the orbital part. What is the message? The message is this part here, the orbital part, it belongs more to the cheek than to the tear-trough itself. So when we do the analysis, all right, as you can see, what happened is that if you look carefully, you will see that the tear-trough is in between the preseptal and the orbital muscle, and that's the orbic. This is where lies, you know, the whole, you know, of the tear-trough, ligament. But the tear-trough continues with what? With the orbital retainer ligaments. It continues, so we have to keep attention to this. So tear-trough is osteocutaneous ligaments that continues with the orbital retainer ligaments. But all this here lies over the cheek. So we have to keep attention to this part of the orbicularis orbital muscle. As I said, you can see here tear-trough, orbital retainer ligaments. Look carefully to this, drawing. We can see here, this is the arcus marginalis. As you will see, how important is the arcus marginalis. And this is the ligament itself, plus it continues with the orbital retainer ligaments. All right, so keep in mind this. This is the middle zone, and this is the lateral zone.